Hi and hello everyone, welcome back. I'm still at Abhyaranyam guest house as of now, getting ready to have breakfast and then leave from here. If you have not seen the earlier video, I'll put a card for this video up there so that you can check out this place. And in the meantime, the plans for today is I'm heading to Masinagudi, and there is a watchtower there called as Maravakandi watchtower. So I'll be checking in there, staying there today. And as I do that, I also plan to cover a Kenneth Anderson story today from the books 9 Man-Eaters and 1 Rogue. And the story itself, I think, happened in 1930s or 40s. And so it's about a man-eating tiger which was there in the area of Segur near Masinagudi. So that's what I'm planning to cover today. So excited about that. So what exactly happened during that time was the man-eater itself was supposed to have come from the area of Silent Valley National Park. So there were a few human kills there, and then the tiger appeared near Gudalur, made a few kills there, and once that happened, it actually shifted to the Segur area, Segur and Anaikatti area. There's an range called as Anaikatti next to Segur, so that area. In fact, to cover this story, I actually requested for permission. I tried to book Anaikatti guest house. Kenneth actually spent almost 1 month trying to track this man-eater. It was a really frustrating exercise and very difficult exercise for him. So which I'll tell more details about it in this video. But yeah, so I tried to actually book that guest house as well so that I could stay there, but it's not directly available online. You can't book that guest house online. You'll have to get some permission from DFO Ooty, or you'll have to have some influence to get that guest house. So yeah, I couldn't get that guest house to stay there, so I'm staying close there at Marawakandi guest house in Masinagudi. But I'll see if I can at least drive up to that guest house and see that guest house today. So I heard that even to do that we'll have to get permission. So let's see what I can do about that. So this tiger, Kenneth, after he arrived at Anaikatti guest house, he stayed there for a week's time, and he heard or saw nothing about the tiger. So he actually sat up several days near Segur as well as near the Segur Anaikatti main road, but he didn't see anything. On the 7th day, a honey collector, Karumba, he has mentioned about a Karumba tribal. So that person was taken up by the tiger, or he went missing basically. So Kenneth went after tracking with the help of trackers, and he eventually saw that a bear with cubs had actually killed that honey collector. It was not the tiger. So they ended up tracking the bear as well, as requested by the trackers. So he went into the jungle, and he eventually saw a bear den, but the bear was not there. He mentions about kardi roti. That was pretty interesting. That's called as bear bread. What he says is bears usually they chew up honey, lot of other things, honeycombs and fruits or something, jackfruits I think. Yeah, they eat up all that, they chew it, then they regurgitate that, and they make a thick pile of it for their cubs to eat. So, and it's called as bear bread, it seems. I'm not sure. I've never heard of it on any other channels, so I just read about that in this book. So the trackers who were with Kenneth, they ate that happily, and they offered it to Kenneth as well, but Kenneth politely declined to eat that bread. So that's an interesting thing. Regarding Segur, it's a small village at the foothills of Ooty. So where the hairpin bend starts from Masinagudi, when you're driving from Masinagudi up to Ooty, so somewhere there after Mawanala, there is this village of Segur. And then there are 3 important streams that figure in this story. And one is the Anaikatti stream, which flows near the guest house of Anaikatti, and I think it's Anaikatti. And then the Mawanala stream, which flows near the village of Mawanala, and then the Segur stream. So the Segur stream also flows near the Segur village. So these three streams, they're known to come down from the Blue Mountains. So they form a very important part in this story, and I'll try to find those streams as I try to recount this story. Crossed Masinagudi here and riding towards Maravakandi guest house. There are a lot of safari guides who are asking for jeep safari here, so it's grown pretty much now. I have visited Masinagudi earlier. There used to be lot of jeep safaris. Now it's even more people who take you in Moyar and Singara road, and they seem to charge 600 rupees for the safari in that road. I mean, if you have a car, you can drive yourself, and I think night safari is also not allowed now. The last stretch seems to be a mud road like this. So I've arrived at this Marawakandi forest rest house. Like you can see, I've parked my car here. That's the watchtower. It's basically a watchtower. They've converted it into a rest house. In the meantime, I'll have to speak to the forest officer to see if I can get permission to visit Anaikatti guest house. Seems the RFO has gone to Anaikatti as of now. I'm sure in the evening we'll have a better view from here. And he said maybe even elephants sometimes come to drink water. So we'll see. Oh, that's the dam, I think, over there. So this is the room that I have. It's quite a luxury to have a room like this in a watchtower. It's actually compared to Abhayaranyam, which was, it was only 1,600 per night. This is actually 3,200 or something. Maybe they charge for the view, but at the same time, they have very good facility as well. I don't want to sit around and wait for the permission. Anyway, the RFO seems to have gone to Anaikatti, so I don't think he'll come back till evening. If at all I get permission to visit Anaikatti, it'll only be, I don't think I'll get the permission today. Maybe if he allows me tomorrow morning, at least I can visit. But I'll drive till Mawanala and try to recount the things that happened there when Kenneth was here. A lady, a grazer who was grazing her cattle near Mawanala bridge, near the Mawanala river, she was taken by the tigress. So I'll try to find the place where that happened actually. Right, so this is Mawanala. I've come to Mawanala And Kenneth mentions the woman was taken, the grazer was taken at the Mawanala stream, which crosses the bridge. The bridge that crosses Mawanala stream. So I have come to the place. This is the Mawanala stream over here. That's the bridge. And we have the Mawanala stream here. Just at around this bridge, that grazer woman was taken, and it still has a lot of bamboo and good cover, even though the village itself has grown on both sides now. So after that lady was taken, Kenneth immediately started following the tracks of the tiger, and eventually he found it down the stream itself using the help of his tracker, but there was almost nothing left of the lady for him to even sit up. So Kenneth ended up tying a cattle here to see if the tiger takes it, and it did. The very next day tiger took that cattle head. So Kenneth actually set up a machan, and he sat up on this somewhere near, I think, near this river itself. But the tiger did not come that night. A hyena turned up, a few jackals turned up, but the tiger somehow it realized that I'm not sure, it probably, he says, it had some sixth sense or something, because it called very close by, but it did not come back to eat the remains of that cattle head. So that's the place from the book. So from the main Ooty road, which goes towards that Segur range, I've actually taken this slight left towards Valai Thotam. So I think that's the board. I don't know how exactly it's pronounced. They say Valai Thotu. Okay. So here, this is the road which goes to Anaikatti, and it's supposed to have a checkpost here. Because I couldn't meet the RFO, I'll see if I can drive till the checkpost and see if I can meet the RFO there, or else I'll come back and continue towards that Segur. The Valai Thotu checkpost is closed, and I couldn't see the officer here. So this is the road that goes towards Anaikatti. Seems 3 years back they used to allow everyone after collecting a fee, but then I never realized that. I should have come earlier. Now since 3 years they're saying they don't allow, except unless you get permission. But this happens to be the Segur river. So in this story Kenneth mentions 3 important rivers, and this is the Segur river, as you can see. So this is the very stream, upstream a little further on, where actually Kenneth shot the tiger. I'll try to go find that. So coming back to the story, what happened after the Mawanala incident was, for the next 2 weeks Kenneth he tried day and night. Every night he used to go till he had this fixed beam torch on his Studebaker. So he would ask some of his assistants to hold that for him, and he would drive till Teppakadu and come back. Nothing. He didn't see anything. In the daytime he would go scour the jungles, but he couldn't see any trace of the tiger. So eventually what he did was, he was about to go back to Bangalore. He was planning to leave, and he just thought, okay, he'll extend by 3 more days. And during that time, by that time, a Badaga tribesman's son was actually taken by the tiger. So he was unfortunate guy. He was taking food to his father who was working in the fields, and he was taken by the tiger. So that caused a great deal of concern for Kenneth, and he renewed his attempts to try and back this animal. So that's what happened after that. So he extended his stay, and you know, he continued on his quest to go after this man-eater.